Every great mystery needs an author, but what if the author never existed? Long before readers searched dusty bookshops for the Necronomicon, before filmmakers drenched its pages in blood, before occultists debated its authenticity, there was a man, or at least there was the idea of one. His name was Abdul Alhazred. According to H.P. Lovecraft, Alhazred was an 8th century poet from Sana'a in Yemen, a wanderer who travelled through the ancient cities of the Middle East in search of forgotten knowledge. He supposedly explored the ruins of Babylon, walked among the temples of Memphis, crossed the vast and unforgiving deserts known to Arabic folklore as the Rub al-Khali, the empty quarter. It was there Lovecraft claimed that Alhazred encountered things no human mind was meant to comprehend. He spoke of nameless entities sleeping beneath the earth, ancient gods older than civilization itself, invisible forces that watched humanity with competitive indifference. These experiences drove him to compose a terrible volume, not as fiction, not as philosophy, but as a warning, a catalogue of impossible truths. He called it Al-Azif. Before it became the Necronomicon, it had another name, Al-Azif. Lovecraft explained that the word referred to the eerie buzzing sound heard in the desert after sunset. To Western ears, it might resemble the chirping of insects. To Arabic folklore, it was something far more sinister, the whispering of demons, the voices of unseen spirits moving through the night. It was an inspired choice. The title evokes a world where ordinary sounds become supernatural warnings, where nature itself hints at unseen realities. Only later does Lovecraft tell us what Al-Azif is translated into Greek. Its new title became Necronomicon. Although scholars have debated the precise translation, it is often interpreted as an image of the Law of the Dead, or more poetically, the Book of Dead Names. It is a title that feels ancient, forbidden, weighty with history, exactly the sort of book one imagines hidden behind locked doors. What makes the Necronomicon remarkable isn't simply that Lovecraft invented it. Writers invent fictional books all the time. J.R.R. Tolkien created the Red Book of Westmarch. Umberto Eco imagined lost medieval manuscripts. J.K. Rowling introduced countless magical textbooks. But Lovecraft is something entirely different. He gave the Necronomicon a bibliography. He described who translated it, who censored it, which editions survived, which libraries supposedly held copies. According to Lovecraft, the Greek translation was completed by Theodorus Philetus in the 10th century. Centuries later, a Latin version appeared. The church condemned it, authorities banned it, most copies vanished. Only a handful supposedly survived. One hidden within the British Museum, another inside the Bibliothèque Nationale in Paris, one at Harvard, another at the fictional Miskatonic University. Notice the pattern? Lovecraft always mixed fact with invention. A real museum, a real library, alongside an entirely fictional institution. The boundaries blurred. Readers found themselves asking a dangerous question. If some of these places are real, could the book be real too? Lovecraft wasn't trying to fool people, at least not maliciously. He delighted in creating the illusion of authenticity. He and fellow writers often reference one another's imaginary books, ancient cults and forgotten gods. Today we call this shared world the Cthulhu mythos. But to contemporary readers, it felt strangely convincing. Imagine reading a story filled with references to Oxford University, the Vatican, the Louvre, then suddenly encountering a mysterious manuscript housed in one of them. The fictional elements inherit the credibility of the real. It's an old storytelling trick. Lovecraft simply mastered it. Ironically, the more casually he referenced the Necronomicon, the more believable it became. He rarely paused to explain it. Characters already knew what it was. Academics discussed it matter-of-factly. Investigators consulted it reluctantly. The Necronomicon became part of the scenery, almost mundane, and that normality made it terrifying. There is another reason Abdul Alhazred continues to fascinate readers. He occupies an unusual place in literature. He is fictional. Yet his biography has expanded far beyond anything Lovecraft actually wrote. Later, authors invented new details. Publishers created elaborate chronologies. Artists painted imagined portraits. Role-playing games gave him additional adventures. Comic books expanded his mythology. Some even attempted to reconstruct his writings as though he were an authentic historical figure. In death, Abdul Alhazred achieved what few fictional authors ever have. He acquired a life of his own. There is, however, one detail Lovecraft himself delighted in sharing: the mad Arab's death. According to legend, Alhazred was walking through a crowded marketplace in Damascus when witnesses watched in horror as an invisible creature seized him. He was torn apart, alive, his screams echoing through the streets. The crowd saw everything, but the attacker remained unseen. Whether intended as a truth or folklore hardly matters. It perfectly encapsulates Lovecraft's vision. The greatest horrors are not those we see, but those we can only imagine. By the 1930s, something extraordinary had begun to happen. Readers no longer wanted to read stories about the Necronomicon. They wanted the Necronomicon itself. Later, letters arrived at publishers. Inquiries flooded libraries. Booksellers searched the catalogues. Soon became convinced copies had once existed. Others believed powerful organizations were deliberately hiding them. The impossible had happened. A fictional book had escaped fiction. Next time, we'll explore the remarkable search for the Necronomicon, the controversial publication of the Simon Necronomicon, and the astonishing moment when countless readers became convinced they were finally holding the genuine Book of the Dead.